In today's video, we'll see a possible mermaid helping a pot of dolphins, a mermaid on the hunt, and the most famous mermaid hoax ever. But first, you tell us, is this a seal or a mermaid with number 10? Seal or mermaid? This video was caught back in 2013 in Israel by two passers-by walking along a mountain trail. Out of the corner of their eyes, they somehow spotted movement on a rock formation that was a few meters below the seal. Many online viewers debate the authenticity of the viral video, but it looks pretty convincing to me. Number 9. South African sightings vanish instantly into the light-starved waters. Admittedly, not exactly Little Mermaid material, though this is less fiction and more real life. However, many people still believe that the footage is a hoax. Honestly, I'm on that side as well. Nat Geo has been known to pass off fake footage as real in the past, but what's important is what you think, real or not. Number 8. Mermaid interactions. A TikToker that goes by the name of Sauce.90 became an overnight sensation when he filmed himself live while at sea for work. This TikTok user is a commercial fisherman who has been seen working in the industry for a few years. On one of his trips, he did a live show that caught something a little out of the ordinary. In the video, Sauce.90 seemed to be interacting with a creature that sang songs out in the ocean. The tune was loud and clear, with no obvious point of origin. It didn't help that the boat was in the middle of the ocean, making it even harder to identify. He speculated the sound to come from other creatures like whales, but it was far too dark for it to be confirmed. In another instance, the TikToker was able to catch a live video of something throwing things into the boat. The said things being thrown were the same things he had thrown overboard just a few minutes prior. Sauce.90 was really shocked at the interaction, which is amazing, although albeit unnerving, to say the least. Number 7. Unexpected catch. Fishermen often catch crazy things out at sea, and when we say crazy things, we mean things that range from human bones to friggin' Tommy guns. Not really things you'd expect to catch out in the wild, but I'll take that latter one right there. In the video we have for today, though, some ocean veterans are going to get a once-in-a-lifetime catch from a normal fishing day. In 2012, a trawler was out for a regular day of fishing. As always, the men threw their nets out, hoping to catch a school of fish that would pass by them. The weather was rainy and a little bumpy on the boat, but it wasn't anything the men couldn't handle. When it was time to haul the nets back in, a weird creature was seen in the ropes, desperately trying to thrash its way free. It had limbs and webbed fingers, so safe to say it wasn't a fish. The catch caught the fishermen by surprise, so much so that they threw the nets back in to avoid whatever disaster that creature could do. Just imagine if they actually caught it and hauled it on board. It'd have been a good story if they lived to tell the tale that was. Number 6. Just passing by. It's sort of an unwritten rule. Animals will prey on other animals smaller than themselves. That's just how it is in nature. Since only 15% of the ocean has actually been thoroughly explored, it's not an unlikely idea to say that mermaids exist and that they may in fact be a part of the food chain as a whole. Just take a look at this video and we'll show you what we mean. This clip was taken in Russia, 526 meters deep below the ocean. It was taken from a remotely operated vehicle, or ROV, which was used to check on an oil rig underwater regularly. In the video, the machine was floating like how it usually does on checkups, and it's nothing out of the ordinary at first. However, a few seconds after, the video picked up a recording of a fish passing through with what looked like something used by the divers. The people watching were probably curious where the whole thing came from until a few seconds later, where another creature came into the picture. The thing had a very long tail and was far too fast to be caught clearly on camera. It could have been a bigger fish going after the other one, but it certainly looks surreal with a tail that long. It also had the appetite for fish, that's for certain. Does it have other dietary interests? Let's hope we don't find out. Number 5. Circus catch. Probably the most famous mermaid in the world, also the most famous hoax, is P.T. Barnum's Fiji Mermaid. The mummified remains of what Barnum called a mermaid had the head of a humanoid but the tail of a fish, and it didn't really fit the romanticized portrayals of mermaids in folklore. However, many still fell for the hoax hook, line, and sinker, quite literally. That was despite the fact that the thing was actually an amalgamation of two taxidermy animals, namely the top half of a monkey and the bottom half of a fish. This didn't stop Barnum, though, the ever-crafty businessman that he was. The thing made him money on ticket sales, at least for a while. He was insistent in searching for the real thing, though, and when rumors began circulating on sightings of a mermaid just beyond the coast of Cali, Barnum took the shot at offering to buy off a live mermaid. Not really sure if he was able to, but Barnum did manage to show off another mermaid, this time a bit more convincing. This figure resembled more of a mermaid, having a female torso and a full head of hair. It had webbed hands and was suspended in a glass case full of water. Sadly though, the display was short-lived due to a fire that burned down Barnum's museum in 1865. The origins of the fire were rather mysterious, and it was believed that insurance fraud was created to escape any debt Barnum had, and the mermaid was nowhere to be found thereafter. Number 4. Blacksmith Swimmers. Atlantis is known as the city that sank beneath the sea, and although the city was once thought to be of terra firma, common folklore tells of the city being inhabited by merfolk after its sinking. It is further stated in these legends that merfolk are civilized beings who possess unimaginable technology, and though no one has ever found traces of the city beneath the sea, that doesn't mean that the whole of it had no evidence left for the world to find. They say that humans began advancing when they learned to hunt with tools. Mermaids probably got to that side of civilization way before humans did. In the video in question, you'll see different hunting tools that were made from bone and coral-like materials. The weapons were all made for hunting, much like the spears people used before. Some of these tools were also found wedged inside fish and predatory animals like sharks. Fishermen would often find these marks and weapons on fish while on their trawlers. The tools do make a huge statement on the possible existence of mermaids, but more research is still in the works on deciphering these things. Number 3. Mermaid on GoPro. It's pretty common for marine biologists to strap on a GoPro to a wild animal to see their normal behavior out in the wild. There's been many scientific advancements made due to the results of their research, though for this particular study, the findings proved more mysterious than factual. In the video, you'll see a man strapping a GoPro onto a shark. The shark was swimming pretty close to the sea floor when the strap of the GoPro loosened, and then the GoPro fell to the seabed where it stayed there recording. When the GoPro was re-retrieved, the researchers found footage that shocked them. What seemed to be a mermaid was filmed swimming underwater. It was surreal, while at the same time calming in a way. If this footage is real, then it's only a matter of time before we finally confirm the existence of mermaids. Number 2. Swimming with the dolphins. Swimming with the dolphins is a fun recreational activity for people, unless the dolphins are randy, of course. For mermaids, though, it's probably just part of everyday life, especially the randy part. Though it would be interesting to think that mermaids live regular lives like us, it's still a mysterious thing to understand the habits these creatures have. A photo was captured of a dolphin run, and amid the run was a mermaid who seemed to blend in with the pod. It does make me wonder why dolphins are so friendly around people. Maybe the exposure to human-like fish is a factor of this behavior. It's really not clear what the creature was doing around the animals, but it might be possible that it was shepherding the animals, kinda like what humans do with sheep and cattle on dry land, which has very bad implications for the dolphins. Number 1. The UK Mermaid. With today's technological advances, almost anything is possible. Video editing is an ever-advancing trend, and what we can do with CGI is fast becoming so realistic that it's sometimes hard to tell which is real and which is fantasy. Though some things are obvious, not all things are what they appear to be. Kinda